You did? Cool. All right. You did? Okay. You're going to do this with me, and obviously you can have a calculator for doing this, which makes it quite more simple. This is kind of set up that we're running it with integers, which should make it easy, okay? And I'm going to write the formula for these at the top of each one, which should make this a whole lot easier. The area, okay, for our parallelogram is equal to the base times the height. Okay, this may be a little kind of crazy. If you think of a square, it's just side times side or length times width. A parallelogram, the height, if you look at this thing, this makes a triangle. If you see the right triangle, this means this line that's dotted is the height. Okay, so I want you to write them like this when you do it. You put A equals B times H. A equals, my height's going to be 4, and my base is the side that it touches. Okay, which is 6. So I'm going to go 6 times 4. Looks almost like a B. What's my area equal? A equals 24 feet squared. So you're multiplying this, multiplying feet by feet, so it's feet squared, and then I circle it. It's that easy. See how easy that is?
Wait, so we're just doing 4 times 6?
Yep.
Where's the square come from?
Because it's foot times foot, which makes it foot squared.
Would everyone?
If you went x times x, it'd be x squared.
Wait,
It's foot times foot, makes it foot squared. Yes. Sure.
but for all these, we're gonna add.
You have to have whatever it is, and we'll do the next one. We'll do yards, right? So for this one, the area equals the base, right, times the height. My area is equal to my base of 9 yards times 5 yards. 9 times 5 is 45, so it's 45 yards squared. That's how easy that is, right? So for homework, you're going to do, obviously, 3 and 4. Okay, everybody got that? I'm actually recording this in case you get stuck and you decide not to do it on Sunday night. You're like, I don't know how to do this. All right? It is easy. That's why I'm doing this. This is the last little bit. It's fun, right? Let's do triangles are literally half the size of a square. And I'm going to draw a picture to illustrate this. You see this? If I was to continue, ooh, I have fancy ruler for this. Here you go. If I was to continue this drawing, like my drawing, right? If I continued my drawing like this, I'll make it dotted, okay? I would have a square. And a square is just this side times this side. But I only have half of it. And that is the formula. It's area of a triangle is 1/2 the base times the height. Okay? It's the same for all these things. Now, you have to follow this. You see how this is here? Right here with this one? I'm going to do that one, but this one here, you consider one of these the height. You can actually turn it and say, well, I'm going this way by this way. It doesn't matter. They're both 8 in this case, right? So let's go back to this. My area is equal to 1/2 base times height. Now, you have to write the formula out every time. That's 1 point. And then 1 point is for finding the answer. So making sure you write these things out because we don't get sloppy. A equals 1/2 8 times 8. What's 8 times 8? 64. Half of that? 32. A equals 32 yards squared, and then I circle my answer. See how easy that is?
Wait, 8 times 8 equals
64. Math back pro. Okay?
Wait, are we using a calculator?
You can use a calculator, but you don't have to for that. You should know 8 times 8, right? Let's look at this one. This is where it gets tricky. Believe it or not, this says 6 feet, 5 feet. This one's on the corner. This one's not. This guy has to be the base because this is where that little right triangle is. So this guy's the height. So we write again, A equals 1/2. In this case, base times height. A equals 1/2 My base in this case would be 6 times my height, in this case is 5 feet. 6 times 5 is 30. Half of that is 15 feet squared. So easy that is. These are not hard. That's why we're doing them at the end. Our brain is kind of checking out, and there it is.
Wait, how do you know which one of it is the B and
Height is the dotted line. How big is the triangle? It's the one with the square next to it that shows the direction.
okay.
This would be the height over here. You see this one? That's the height. This is the base. It's that side. Okay. You're always following that little thing. This would be the height. This is the base. Okay. Trapezoids are the only one that's a little strange. Okay. Okay. You might say, well, that's confusing. Actually, it's not too bad. Okay. What you got to do for this one, it's the area is going to be equal. This is called B1, and this is B2. So what you're going to do is you're going to take B1 plus B2, right? It's an easy formula. B1 plus B2 divided by 2, or 1/2 of that, right? Times it by 1/2. And then you're going to multiply by the height. In this case, we would know the height as being this thing with the dotted line. Okay? Let's try this first one. Area equals, in this case, 8 plus 4 times 1/2. That's 12. Times 1/2 is 6, right? But then in the end, we got to multiply the height of 6. So it's going to be 6 times 6. Your area for this guy would be equal to 36. Right? Everybody see that? And we got to keep the thing inches squared. Right? Does everybody understand that?
Wait, is that 8 times 6? It's times 6.
8 times, you have to go 8 plus 4 is what? 12 and half of 12. Right? This becomes 6. I can just put it around there. 8 plus 4 is 12. Let that thing refocus. There we go. Wait a second. There we go. 8 plus 4 is 12. Half of 12 is 6. And then it's just 6 times 6. Let's try this one. You guys do it by your big self, and then you check your answer with me.
And the Russian, if the nurse report to the nurse's office, could be
Field day injury.
Oh.
I'm gonna put this down. You can't see what I'm doing.
Oh, it's 3.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, you guys noticed all these weeks of doing this in participation. So that's okay. Allie, do you need to borrow one? What'd you get? Nolan.
90.
Wow.
I got 4.
No. No Passerelle.
14.
No. Grace.
I can't even figure it out, so I don't even answer.
I didn't even get the answer.
Oh, yeah.
Marie, what'd you get? Hmm. Hmm.
Everything else besides the trapezoid.
This is interesting. This is where it gets a little interesting because it was all easy to this guy. And I already wrote the answer down, so I got to put it on a different sheet of paper, right? So write what I'm doing down. So it makes sense. You could do it on the blank sheet on the other side. I'm going to draw my picture again. This is the only one that you're going to have problems with right now. I drew this thing. It's a trapezoid. It's got a dotted line that comes down and it says it's 4 feet. This climb is 4 feet. This says 6 feet. This has 9 feet. This is the only one that seems to get us. Okay? Your area is equal to, I'm going to call this B1 and this guy's B2. Yeah, I know I'm out of time. This is B2 and this is still your height. That's not going to change. Okay? My area is B1 plus B2. And then you're going to multiply it by 1/2 or divide by 2 that whole thing. And then you multiply it by the height. Then you times it by the height. You add them, divide it by 2. So let's try that out. Everybody try that. So you would have A equals 6 plus 9. And then you can either multiply by 1/2 or just divide the whole thing by 2. That might be easier. Then you multiply it by the height of 4 feet. What do you get?
42. 42.
6 plus 9 is 15. Half of 15 is
7.5.
7.5 times 4 is 30 feet squared. I don't know how you get 42. What are you doing?
I did 4 plus 6, so I did the rest.
No. Remember, you're doing these two, the two flat ones go together. And that is the height. The dotted line is the height. He does not get added. He's always going to be multiplied. So when you look at these things, especially with this one, because I don't want to get you confused, but if you look at the way these things are set up, see that dotted line? That is going to be height. That's going to be height. What would be the height of this one? You see that? It's saying this is the height. Okay? But you have to see how this is a parallel with this one? This would be, encircle your thing and do what I did. This is B1, this is B2. Okay? But you're only doing the first 4, so we only have to do these. So you only do those 2 for homework. Does that make sense? 1 and 2s. I did these 2, you do these 2. Got it? Next week, like on Monday, we get to do some circle stuff and some circle stuff. We're not doing that right now, obviously. We're stopping here. Just enough to kind of get us to learn how to do this. And then we'll finish with our geometry next week. So Monday and Tuesday clearly will be work. Wednesday, we'll see what we got, see where we are. We're gonna see, I have to check in with my boss next door to make sure we covered enough. And we look at the summer packet that day too.
How do you find the half? You just do it divided by